Okay, on the bench today is a Bowler Brothers custom Strat in TV yellow. Um, the TV yellow is actually my favorite part of this guitar, and it's a very, very nice finish. Like better than a Fender would finish something. My dad had a Nova in the 70s that was the same color. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. And the black and the TV yellow just tells me 70s. And this is a really good player. I've had it several times before to work through. Um, Last year we did all new pickups and electronics. It was a right directly from Fender Tex-Mex setup, and the tone is really good on it. And I think we had done a couple different pick guards on this. I'll show you some pictures of those too. And the last time it was in, I think I might have touched up some of the bowler hats with a paint pen. There was a little scuff on those. So it's in today because it needs intonation and new strings. And I've already went through it a little bit. I found out that the truss rod was loose, so I gave that just a little tweak. I mean, it was rocking and rolling in there, so I just tightened it until it caught. And then after I string it up, we're going to see where it sits too. I don't need to go through the fretboard on this because I've done it before. And I also always oil this fretboard, so I've only got to do a really quick oil on it too. So this should be really quick, but maybe you'll pick something up while I'm watching it. While you're watching it. So I'm reading online. I found not much on Bowler Brothers guitars. I can't even find that they have a website. But here's what I found. Bowler Brothers Guitars is run by James Murphy and luthier Michael Byington. Bowler Brothers source guitar parts in bulk to get the best deals and then assemble them by hand, set them up properly, and sell them for affordable prices. They also custom finishes like swirls and vintage comic book finishes. Whatever that sentence says. But they are located in Grand Haven, Michigan. That's kind of neat. So, Bowler Brothers, you still have a guitar out here that is making people happy. And we're just going to give it a nice little clean up and set up. So, first thing I want to do is take off the strings and oil this fretboard up. Now this is what I would do if I was just doing a string change on any guitar that I've worked on in the past, with the exception of setting the intonation. Really nice hardware that they put on this guitar too. It's not, a kit guitar like you might think. around a million miles. Who did that? Not me. That one. Oh, that's tight. So we're trying to get a bunch of guitars done here. It's the middle of the night. This one needs to go out for a gig at some point. I got all the strings out. I cut them a little too short. It took me a little bit to get them out of there. But also, I neglected to put in plastic chip. I always like to put in like a squeegee, like a rubber squeegee kind of plastic squeegee for doing like, you know, car body work underneath there, and it gives it a. It usually keeps the bridge up from the body. This one doesn't have a lot of tension on it, but so I'd like to get into oiling. So you can see. Yeah, I oil this quite a bit, so there isn't much I need to do on it, or at least every time I've had it. And you can see it's still damp. So this is just a once over. Thinking that the body on this, it's a very heavy Fender Strat, it's a very heavy Strat, and I'm thinking it's made of ash. Give it some weight. And it's bigger. You know, a couple weeks ago I had that John Mayer one in here, and that seemed smaller. Way smaller and lighter than this. You know, this is just a Fender look-alike. I mean, I'm sure if you took out this to a real Strat, measurements would be different. In fact, they are, because I've had to custom cut this pickguard a few times because I don't think a real pickguard fits on it correctly. So yeah, let's wipe this down. Work it in. Let's see, let's get some cleaner on this while we're here. Give it a nice little wax too before we send it back out the door. So he wanted to have 9s on there. He gave me a set of these elixirs. They're by Gore. Elixir by Gore. put all the strings through the body rather than flipping it up and over and over and over. One thing I do like to do before I put the strings on is take some pencil, and down here in the nut you want to color that in. Some pencil. This acts as a little lubricant for your strings. Graphite. That will provide a little bit of lube when you do string bends. Now I wanted to show you how to do a luthier's knot. So let's move it back down here to leave the situation. Okay, so we're going to start here with the E, and we're going to go up to here. You always want to go inside your tuners this way. You want to wind around this way, not this way because you're going to the outer side. Every one of them's got to go that way. If you have 3 on this side, 3 on this side, you go that way and then that way, always to the inside. What I like to do is I'm going to bring it down taut and wrap it around once, twice, just once actually, and then your second time around you're going to go right through that hole and then pull that tight as you can. Then wind it right there. Wound. So you watch me and then you can do it yourself next time. So you're going to go around at least one time around that string, and then through the hole, in the hole because it's your home. And I like to go over the string. And this way when it winds up, it winds into itself, into that groove that's on the tip of your tuner there. And the way that that's shaped on the top there is designed for your string to crush up into that and put tension on the piece that's coming through the hole. Over, inside, around. You can get a little bit thicker as you go down. Sometimes the B and E string I'll wind twice before I go through. But I have trouble in general getting those tiny strings because I have big fat fingers. String tree, nut. Oh yeah, start poking you in the eye there, man. Wow. Alright, should we trim these? What do you think Kerry King's doing today? I like to trim pretty close. Don't need to be poking your fingernails. If you've done that, you know what that's like. Okay, so we got the strings changed here. Let's tune it up. That's kind of in tune, but this and that came out pretty good. No need to do anything with that. Let me check the height. You always want to make sure that the height of your bridge, where it goes right here with the body, I always like to make them flush. Not flush with the body, but perpendicular. That's the word I'm looking for. Perpendicular with the body, so that they're nice and flat. They sit nice and flat. Your height might depend. This is an adjustable height one. If it was, you know, you're in tune and it's way up high, then you need to put more tension on the springs in here. So you would take this plate off, drive that in 1 or 2 twists with your screwdriver, however many springs are there. If there are 5 springs, give one each a half tweak and see if it brings it back any. If it's tight to the body, then your springs are too tight. You need to back them off a little bit at a time. What I always like to do is, if that's the situation that's happening, is back it off or back it in. Let me begin. Just a little bit to get the tension a little bit where you need it, then retune it, and then check that again. That might take a while to make happen, but since I have gone through this guitar before, it's set where it needs to be. It's a really nice bridge too. It's a I can't even read. Let me get my magnifying glass. What does that say? I have terrible eyesight and fat fingers. It looks like it says Wormson. I can't read that at all. Oh, there we go. Oh, is that it? Wilzinson. That's what type of bridge it is. Nice bridge though too. Nice hardware on the top. Nice machining. Chrome's nice on that. And another unique thing about this guitar is it's got a gold input jack. I think it would look good with either one, but I think the gold's a good choice. It goes with it. Yeah, so we got that in tune, and we can start doing some intonation. That's pretty good. I'll leave it there. Yeah, so it's like the middle of the night, so I can't jam this thing out. Everybody's sleeping, so just see how it sounds a little bit here. If I can play for you. It's a tough position. Yeah, so maybe tomorrow morning I will set up and blast this thing out. So, good night.